Okay, happy December daily, everyone. I am going to start showing you what I worked on for my December 1st. I'm realizing that my scrapbooking, in order to keep up with this project, takes place in such a choppy manner. And what I mean by that is because yesterday, December 1st, I knew I wanted to recreate it. This was the whole plan. I will leave the young girl on Instagram. Her name is paper_T. I'll leave it in the description box. She did something like this. I loved it. I wanted to scrap lift it. And so even something like this, I think I was selected all of my little products during like my lunch hour and printed like the first 4 photos. Then I decided later on, like during my lunch hour after I walked the dog, came back to make this one bigger so that the tree wasn't so small in one of them. And I think then I also took apart the layered stamp stickers. These were these. In the main kit, I took off all of the fun foam between it and just made it as flat as possible. So really the only dimensional thing is really this wood veneer. I even took off the backing on that. Then I went to work again, did the journaling for my journaling cards here and here. And so when I came home, I don't know what Botley must have been playing real silently, and I was able to print it and then adhere it on the cards. Then I did bath time, fed her, put her to bed. And then I kind of came back and just finished up the last little bits of glue and stuff. So when my pages go like that, it's hard to film that manner. So I do apologize. But for this one, I felt like it was okay to do it because it's a simple page. I did just take the grid paper that was in the main kit. I selected my icon pieces. Like I said, I took apart that dimensional element. And then I also decided to put photos in these two as well. So I had to print another like 4x6 in which I have like the leftover pieces over here somewhere. So yeah, so like I printed 2 of these so that I didn't waste a sheet of paper. Something else is over here. And then like this strip. So that's how I got those extra ones going. So yeah, this is my story 1. And this one is from last year's collection. I never used the one from last year. So I had a black one and I thought it worked out great. And then this was one 4x6 that I just cut in half in order to fit in those pockets and then glued this down in the back. So that is day 1's story. Let me fix my camera just a little bit. And yeah, so here's December 2nd and I have my story 2 ready to go in essence. So I have a full page photo that has to go on the back of this for story 2. Now, when you print 8x10, and I simply sent this to Walgreens to print, it was easy. No biggie. I need background paper. So I pulled out this simple white with stripes on here. So I do have to cut it down to size. And it's not that you see a lot of it. It's just simply for the holes and on this side. So my thought was, if you watch my foundation pages, oh, excuse me, is that I would use this card with the grid as well to stamp out bucket list and then type out, or maybe just handwrite, a few of the things that I want to make sure that we do this holiday season. But I don't want that to be the journaling alone. And I do have it backed with this because for the page over here, day 3, remember it's this green one that's going to be with the library tags was my thought process for my morning, evening, and afternoon. So knowing that I have green on this side, I chose, when you flip it, to have the green here. But I'm also in between that one. But I think I do like the text. So this goes the bucket list for story 2. But I'm thinking that the bucket list will just be like a decorative element to this. And I want to have journaling on this tag that I'll either tuck behind it as before I adhere this photo. Or I'm thinking of taking it one step fancier. And doing like, I seen other creators do like a slit mark in the photo. That way there's an active spot for this to go behind. And that way you'll see like the top 1.5 inches of this journal tag because it'll be above my head, but behind it. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking I like that just to make it a little bit more creative, a little more artistic. And then maybe add another one of the star elements, the little felt stars. Yeah, like something like this on there, and then add the ribbon. Or maybe even one of the corky pieces too. Or maybe both, something like that. And then I want to use this one on the bottom. So keeping it simple, love the big photo of us. and putting that behind there. So yeah, so I will see, this is my lunch break. I will cut this down, and I think I will try the slit mark there and then see how far this has to get tucked in there. And perhaps I'll do the stamping over here in red or green, probably green to keep the green going through it, of bucket list, and then come up with my things. And, you know, we're talking about like baking things, seeing Santa, going to see Christmas lights, things like that. So like that decorative element that will be here in order to transition into the next story on this side. So I'll put you on a little fast forward just so I can do that part and adhere this down. Okay, so I pretty much walked you through everything I wanted to do, and thankfully everything turned out exactly how I wanted. So that's always a good sign when you have this idea in mind and then you execute it properly. But I tell you what, the most nerve-wracking part was just slicing my photo to make room for the tag to go in. I don't know why, I just have never done this technique. I love the way it turned out. But you know, when you print photos, like, you don't want to ruin them and print them again. So I was just like, please work, please work, please, please, please work. But thankfully it turned out great, and I used most of the supplies from the Ali Edward collection from the main kit, and I simply like this layout. Simple, but packs a punch, especially when I start adding in the bucket list tag, in which I'll explain later. And I do type out all of my journaling so that there is consistency on it, and that way my story too will be complete. Okay, let's just put the finishing touches on my day 2 story. So I've made my tag. I've added the ribbon because I had to shuffle around some things to find, you know, just some different ones. And I changed the number 2. I had the sticky 2 from the kit, so I just changed it to this one. This one was from this little pack that I have, Echo Park, my favorite Christmas number pack. So I just changed it because it was bolder to be seen, and then I added this little flare from Scrappin' Happy Studio. It just has holiday wishes. So for the back, I thought I was going to handwrite the journal, but I thought it was easier just to print it out. And so I kind of have like this, it's called Floral something. It's in my Silhouette software. It kind of reminds me of a Ray Dunn. So I've printed this part out, which I hope fits because I didn't measure it, but it might go over just a tad. So I just asked Miguel, I put our ages because I realized I don't do that in my album, so it's always hard to understand what age we were. Favorite memory from 2021, and then things we want to do this holiday season. And then this will go in that pocket, and then on the other side is just our bucket list, so I printed that out too because I figured I'm either going to stamp it and mess it up, and then I'll cut these little boxes out and put them into here so that they both match for day 2's story. So, and then the other element was the back of this card will be this, and I like the green star, so I picked these 3 out. This one says Christmas, the star, and how I'm going to attach it into the book is with, it's acetate, but it's, believe it or not, it's packaging. My daughter's birthday was the other day. She got a bunch of Barbies and stuff, and so the plastic that sits in front of the Barbies is like a good acetate. So I'm just going to put it in between the layers and punch holes here so that it's clear instead of adding paper or any other color to compete. So that way it's just clear in the book as well. And I got this new punch from Hobby Lobby. This is like their crafting studio one, and it's the bigger one to make the same size as the page protectors. This has been an awesome punch, and I hope it'll work through that as well. So actually, let me see if I got a page protector quick somewhere. Do I have a page protector? Let me just take this one out. Okay. Let's just see if it actually does good. Get a Sharpie and see how it punches the 3 holes. So actually, I wonder if I should just do... So it can actually be a lot smaller because it's not this wide. I just cut like pieces so that it was yeah, it could actually be smaller. Okay. So let's see if this can punch through acetate. That'll be a true test. Because it cuts through page protectors just fine. Oh yeah. This is my new favorite punch ever. Because don't get me wrong, I've tried the what is it, the crocodile or something. The hole is just too small on it. And there is one that a few crafters use that's from like We Are Memory Keepers. And there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't want to, I think on Amazon it's like $30. I just don't want to spend $30 on a punch. I'm too cheap for that. All right, and then this one. I wonder if I even had to make, see here's more of the packaging so the paper gets stuck on it sometimes, but man, I wish I should have just done this before and didn't make these pieces so big, because now I have random pieces left, but it's okay. Yeah, this punch, I'm so glad I picked it up. And of course at Hobby Lobby, wait till this is, I think it was normally, which isn't bad, it's like $17, but I got it when it was 40% off. So, you know, I can't do the math. Half of 18 is 9, so it was like $10, maybe 11 once you do the tax and stuff. And so, yeah, like I said, I printed this out. This was way easier than trying to stamp it right now. I just don't want to stamp because, let's be honest, I'm still an amateur stamper and it would probably get a little bit messed up, which is not a bad thing. That's what, you know, learning is all about. But when I don't have to, like in this instance, I can just type it up real quick, choose cute fonts, change up the fonts, and be happy, happy, happy. Okay, so now I just speed it up so that you don't have to see me ramble and put all of my bucket list items on this. But definitely take away from this is that typing is easy and you can just measure the spots and fill it in like I am here. Use packaging from toys. It's a great clear acetate to use to add into your pages, especially something like tags or if something is like an insert. Definitely keep that in mind as well. These pages are coming together well, and actually filming these, I filmed 2, 3, and 4, and I'm realizing as I'm editing that you're going to get probably 2 pages per video, because otherwise this video is going to be 40 minutes and I don't want to do that to you. So we'll break it up, 1 and 2, and then next will be 3 and 4. There. And so I'm actually also thinking if I want to add, no, that's too big, something else like to adorn this. Do we have anything small from the kits? Maybe a stocking? Nah, too big. Is there anything small again? Oh, how about one of the hearts? Maybe the hearts. Just that it's thick, or a star. That's big too. The little houses. And these are all of my supplies, mostly from Ali Edwards. So it's really just maybe the heart. It's small enough, but I just don't want the dimension, or maybe I do. Well, for now, it's fine. Let me keep all of this. See, everything sits right here. This is how I keep my supplies present. This little box has come quite in handy. So yeah, that will definitely work out. If you have any plastic from toys, keep the acetate. It's really good to add paper pages into your thing. So here's some other pieces I cut off from those. So I'll keep that on my desk. And then anything else that I didn't show. So it's behind the day one, which I know I have footage just kind of going over because I didn't really film that one, and I clearly didn't film this one, but you can see me walking through it. So then I'll have day 3, which I am using the library card, so I'll have that footage next for that day. Stay tuned.